Hello, Internet. I just want to speak and give my opinion on the new sleep record, The Sciences, and I, it was released obviously on the Weedian holiday of 420. I myself do not smoke the magic herb, but it is the perfect day to release the album. I would say it's the first new material they've done outside the Clarity in almost 20 years, I do believe, and it's just it's very good. I think it might be my favorite album by them. Honestly, I think they sound great on every song. I think a lot of it from interviews I've seen is older material. I don't know about all of it. A lot of it's older material they had written in the '90s and possibly before, but it's um it's their best sounding record, I think. Uh, Maybe on par with 2003 Dope Smoker in sound, but as much as I love Dope Smoker, it is one song. This, my dear friends, is got a good number on them. I think there's 6 songs on the whole album, and it's very good. The first song is it sets up the mood that we're getting in some weird spacey what's the word, psychedelic sort of a feel, and then it just goes from there, and you hear the magic and the science all combined in a mystical elemental way, and it sounds fantastic. I'm it seems to me that almost anything uh, that Al Al has done uh, post the original breakup of Sleep when he formed Ohm, everything just kind of sounds like Ohm, which isn't a bad thing to me. So it's like, but it's just like Ohm applied to whatever project he's playing. So whether when it was on uh, Shrine Builder, it just sounded like Ohm applied to the mix of the other musicians on there from all the other stoner groups they were from, and now it sounds like heavy Ohm, and I think that's great though because Ohm I think I like even better than Sleep, but the idea of heavy Ohm is very appealing to me, and I think it sounds really good. Uh, but I'm just a fan of the band, and I hope this isn't the last thing they do. Is it's they're such good musicians, all of them, and Al is my favorite of the bunch. I don't really know this new drummer very well yet. I'm a big fan of Matt Pike. I seen him with High on Fire when he opened for Death Clock years back, and he's got some great stuff too. But I'm really more on the Al side of things. But they're all just such great musicians, and what a perfect day to release this. I tried to get the green vinyl, but it sold out almost immediately. But hopefully I'll be able to get it because I like owning things physically. But I have listened to it a number of times on um, Spotify. I listened to it when it came out at midnight, and listened to it all day since, and it's really good. But that's my thoughts on it. I love the names too. You got the Marinot. That's how you would say it. Marunot. That's such a cool name. It just gives it an element of mysticism, like this deep exploration and just something more meaningful than it's just a plant that you know gets you high. They give it this mysticism, which I really like. And I don't, like I said, I do not smoke the weed, but I think it makes it so much more, I mean, mystical sounding. And then, of course, Giza Butler. For some reason, that title is as great as it is. It took me a minute to get to realize, and I'm like, that sounds like something, but I don't know what. But now I know what it is, and it's pretty funny because I love Geezer Butler, and I've always wanted to know what Sleep would sound like if they did a collaboration with anybody from Black Sabbath, especially Ozzy, because Ozzy, he's worked with Primus and he's done guest appearances with other bands. So I've always like, Sleep wants to be Black Sabbath so much, Ozzy era Black Sabbath, which is my favorite, and I think that would be amazing if they did a collaboration with him because it'd be like Sleep is like Jesus, the son of God. God is Black Sabbath, and Sleep is Jesus born into current times. I really wish Black Sabbath would do something else with Ozzy. I don't see why they can't just do another album, even if they can't tour, because Ozzy is. I mean, Tony has his issues with health. It can't be that hard to sit down and record an album. They recorded the first album in one day. Even Sleep, like I love this album, but I don't get why it takes so long. It's like I don't know. I guess everybody has their different working processes, but it seems like very, very strange to me when people take forever to record something when some of the greatest masterpieces are recorded in like a day. But I digress. I highly enjoyed this, and I hope other people are enjoying this. But I'm just looking forward where they go next with things because this is like the first step of them becoming like a fully solid recording band again. Yeah, they've obviously been on tour for a very long time since they reformed. I think 2009. It took them 10 years to get to this point, so hopefully we don't have to wait another 10 years to get another one. We'll have to see. That seems like that's what happened in the first time. They released their first album in the early 90s, then not too long after they lost their first guitarist, well, the second guitarist, they released Holy Mountain. But then I think it was years later until Dope Smoke came out. I want a new album, not 10 years from now. But not that I'd complain if it came out 10 years from now, but my guys, it's not that long. But any material from any of these guys, really, I look forward to, especially Alma. Alma is one of my favorite bands. There's really no one else that sounds like them except any project that Al works on now. I always love the term Al uses for music, sonic archaeology. I use it myself in a lot of interviews and stuff because I credit him. But it's a very interesting term. I obviously no, not everyone knows what I'm going to be talking about here, but it's a very fascinating term. Sonic archaeology, where all music already exists and musicians are basically digging through the realms or dimensions or whatever to retrieve these songs and fasten them together into listenable pieces. Even bad music, I think, is streamlined and as mainstream music becomes more and more of a product. I still think there is value in where these products come from, even amongst modern crappy pop music. I still think there is value in the pieces they are gathering together to fasten these songs together. It's obviously not as good as real music like this album, but it's still I still think it has its value. Obviously, some people like it. It's not my particular thing, but there's a lot of theories on that. If you look at anything else on my channel, I am obviously very influenced by Mr. Tiny Tim, and Tiny Tim is a sonic archaeologist in another way, in that he would just dig up the most obscure songs from local places and just anywhere he could find, and he would bring them back from the dead, whether they're 100 years old or 10 years old. He would just find these most obscure songs that were amazing, and you'd never hear them otherwise, and he'd bring them to the public eye. And I could do that myself. I just try and find obscure songs from all over the nethers and the world and wherever I can find them, and try and bring them to you, the people, at least live. I need to more of them on the internet for you people because there's a lot to experience in a Green Schwinn show. But I've gone off topic a bit here. I started talking about the new Sleep album, but I think that's what these videos are going to be like. I'm going to start making these little rant videos because I think you get a lot out of a rant if you listen to people talk. That's basically what a podcast is half the time. People go off on these tangents and it becomes fascinating. But I'm probably going to end this one pretty soon just because this is a bit of a test just to see if it's got anything worth listening to. I don't know if it is because I'm new to it, but I do hope check out that new Sleep album. It's a good record, you people out there, and check out Tiny Tim. If you consider yourself a fan of music to any degree, there's something for Tiny Tim for you. He's not just a high voiced guy that sings "Living in the Sunlight" and "Tiptoes Through the Tulips." He's got a plethora of songs and many styles, and he's got his voice is naturally pretty low. He just put on the high voice thing for a long time, but even then he was doing songs lower. But he's a fascinating guy. That would have been an amazing combination. Sleep Tim, something. But Tiny Tim was very anti-weed. It's a great story. In the '70s, somebody offered Tiny Tim a joint, and he freaked out. He's like, "You keep that away, Satan!" But probably would have tried it. Tiny Tim loved his booze. He liked to be Christian, but he liked to sin a lot too. He liked to sin. Let me tell you all about it next time. I got a million Tiny Tim stories. I've met a ton of people who've met Tiny Tim and knew Tiny Tim and know Tiny Tim's relatives and family and friends now. So I'm the guy to know. I'm one of the guys to talk to about Tiny Tim. Is anybody I know? And his little friend, his little Fattel too. Now that's a guy. But besides the points, my dear friends, I enjoy music. Enjoy your wonderful 420 if you do smoke it, and of course, even if you do not. Hopefully, I'll be doing more of these wonderful little rant videos in the future. And I bid you all farewell, my dear friends. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful little video, and I'll see you all very, very soon.